A connecting rod just punched a hole clean through the side of an engine block on a pickup that is 3 years old. 70 miles an hour, middle lane, and one of the worst pickup trucks money can buy just locks up solid. That truck is not getting fixed for a few $100s. The bill to put a running engine back under the hood is 10 grand, and here is the part that should scare you. The factory already recalled that engine to stop exactly this from happening, and right now the government is investigating the recall because trucks are grenading even after they get the so-called fix. This is not some rusted-out beater from the 1990s. People bought these new, off the lot, with a warranty, and they are stranded on the shoulder anyway. So here is the deal. Nearly every one of these trucks dies from the same three things: a bad engine, a bad transmission, or a fire. It starts all on its own. Consumer Reports and the Federal Safety Recall Database are full of them doing exactly that. And today, I am walking you through all 17, ranked from bad to flat-out disastrous, off the recalls, the lawsuits, and the reliability data the dealer is never going to show you on the lot. Number 17 is a truck you just need to keep an eye on. Number 1 is being driven by hundreds of thousands of people today, wearing a badge everybody trusts, built by a company that still has not figured out how to hold it together. Stay with me, because if you own one of these, or your grandson just told you he is about to buy one, the next 15 minutes could save you more money than any video you watch all year. Here is what the dealer is not going to tell you. Half the trucks on this list still look fantastic sitting there in the row. Clean paint, big glowing screen, that new truck smell. The problem is bolted down deep, where you cannot see it on a test drive, and by the time you can hear it, the warranty is gone and the bill is yours. You are not buying the paint. You are buying what is underneath it, and that is the part nobody shows you. Number 17. The Ford F-150 Lightning, 2022 through 2024. Give it credit, it is quick, it is quiet, and it tows in a straight line. But the high-voltage battery pack has a defect where the cells can short out inside and start a fire, and Ford knows it. There is a federal recall on it, and until your dealer gets to it, Ford tells you to only charge it to 80% because a full charge is what sets it off. Think about that for a second. You paid new truck money for something the maker says is safer if you only fill it 4/5 of the way. That is where we start, and it only gets worse from here. Number 16. The Ford F-150 with the 5.0 V8 2018 through 2020. On paper, it is the motor everybody wants, the classic Ford V8. Here is the catch. It drinks oil. Owners are reporting a full quart gone every 500 to 1,000 miles, with no puddle on the driveway and no smoke you can see. It is burning it straight through the engine. There is a class action lawsuit over it, and the cause they point to is Ford dropping the real iron cylinder liners for a sprayed-on coating to save a little weight. Run that motor low on oil a few times and you are not topping it off anymore, you are rebuilding it. A V8 that eats itself 1 quart at a time. Number 15. The Toyota Tacoma, 2024 and 2025. The brand new redesign. The Tacoma has a reputation for running forever, and the old ones earned every bit of it. This new one has a different story. The new 8-speed automatic is jumping itself into neutral and losing power, some of them with under 1,000 miles on the clock, and the fix is a whole new transmission. On top of that, there is a federal recall on the brakes because mud packs into the back wheels and rubs through the brake lines until you lose brake fluid. Losing your transmission is expensive. Losing your brakes is a different kind of problem. This is not the Tacoma your buddy swears by. Number 14. The Ford F-150 with the 3.5 EcoBoost, 2017 through 2020. Strong motor, tows like a diesel, sells like crazy. But the cam phasers, the parts that adjust the engine's timing, wear out and stop holding position. You get a rattle on cold start like a coffee can full of marbles, then a knock once it warms up. Here is the insult. Ford's own paperwork called this a customer satisfaction item, not a safety problem, on a $5,000 repair. And the coverage to get it done for free already ran out back in January of 2023. So if you buy one used, that bill is just sitting there with your name on it. Marbles in a coffee can, and Ford calls it satisfaction. Number 13. The Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500 with a 5.3 2014 through 2019. And I will give it to them straight. GM built a good motor here. The 5.3 is a solid small block. Then they bolted on a gas-saving system that shuts off half the cylinders, and that is the part that kills it. The lifters that do the shutting off collapse, wipe out the camshaft, and send metal shavings through the whole engine. You hear a tick, then a misfire, then it is running on 6 cylinders instead of 8. Caught early, it is $1,200. Ignored, it is a $7,000 engine, a good motor strangled by a fuel economy gimmick, and I say that as a fella who spent his whole life inside that company. Number 12. The Ram 1500, 2025 and 2026, the newest one. Nice looking truck, rides comfortable, big digital dash. That digital dash is the problem. It goes completely black while you are driving. No speedometer, no gear indicator, no warning lights, nothing but a dead screen. Ram recalled them for it once, and then 4 months later they had to put out a second recall for the same screen going dark again. Consumer Reports ranks this truck dead last out of the 5 full-size pickups they tested. Dead last. When the maker recalls the same part twice in a single year, that is them admitting they have not fixed it. Number 11. The Hyundai Santa Cruz, 2022 through 2024. It is a clever little truck, car smooth, easy to park, good on gas. But it does not have a normal automatic. It has a dual clutch setup, basically a computer working a manual gearbox, and the oil pump down inside it fails. When it does, you lose drive power completely, shuddering and jerking and dying from a stop, some of them with barely 2,000 miles on them. Hyundai recalled the 2022s, but the newer ones with the same part got nothing, and here is the tell. Hyundai quietly went back to a normal automatic. When the company swaps the part out, they are telling you the part was the problem. Number 10. The Ram 1500 with the 5.7 HEMI, 2014 through 2020. The HEMI has a following, and I get it, it sounds great and it pulls hard, but it has the same disease as that Chevy 5.3. The cylinder shutoff system runs on little roller lifters. The bearing in one comes apart, it chews up the camshaft, and metal goes everywhere the oil goes. Mechanics call it the HEMI tick. By the time it is loud enough to notice, the engine is already full of metal. There is a lawsuit over it, with internal company documents showing they knew. One documented repair came to $6,800, a great sounding motor with a bearing time bomb sitting up in the top of it. Number 9. The Rivian R1T, 2022 through 2024. I want to be fair here, it is fast, it is capable off-road, and the newest ones are getting better. But the early ones are death by 1,000 cuts. Consumer Reports rated it a 20 out of 100 for reliability, one of the least reliable vehicles they measured, period. And a bunch of the recalls are not exotic electric car problems, they are bolts that were not tightened right at the factory. Seatbelt anchors, suspension parts. On a brand new $80,000 truck, when the recalls are for loose bolts, that is not bad luck. That is how the thing was put together. Before we get into the worst of the worst, do me one quick favor. If this is saving you from the wrong truck, tap that like button. It is free, it takes 1 second, and it tells the algorithm to put this in front of another fella who is about to sign the wrong paperwork. All right, the top 8. Number 8. The Nissan Frontier, 2005 through 2010. This one is a used lot special, cheap and everywhere, and that is exactly the trap. Nissan built the transmission cooler down inside the radiator and the wall between the two splits. Coolant and transmission fluid mix into a pink sludge that looks just like a strawberry milkshake, and it destroys the transmission from the inside out. Mechanics literally call it the strawberry milkshake of death. Nissan never recalled it. They just stretched the warranty and settled a lawsuit, and every bit of that coverage has run out, because these trucks are old now. So you would pay the whole thing yourself, $5,000, on a truck worth maybe $3,000. Walk right past the milkshake. Number 7. The Jeep Gladiator with a manual transmission, 2020 through 2023. Fun truck, holds its value, everybody loves the looks. But the clutch pressure plate overheats and fractures, throwing pieces apart inside the bell housing, and it can start a fire. Here is what tells you how bad it really is. Jeep recalled it 3 separate times. First they rerouted a harness, then they added software to cut the power when it got hot. Then they gave up and just replaced the whole clutch. 3 tries at the same fire. If you want a Gladiator, get the automatic and skip the entire mess. Number 6. The Ram 1500 EcoDiesel, 2014 through 2019. Folks bought these for the diesel torque and the fuel mileage, and I understand the appeal, I do. But the exhaust gas cooler cracks, the coolant turns to vapor, gets pulled into the intake, and ignites right there inside the engine. A fire under your hood while you are going down the road. There is a federal recall on it, and the company logged complaint after complaint and even some injuries before they moved on it. They even settled a lawsuit that cuts you a check if yours actually catches fire. Read that back to yourself. There is a payout schedule for when it burns. Skip the little diesel. Number 5. The Ford Super Duty. The F250 and F350 with the 6.7 Power Stroke diesel, 2020 through 2022. This is a serious work truck. and when it runs right, it is a monster. But it uses a high-pressure fuel pump, they call it the CP4, that lubricates itself on the diesel fuel going through it, and on our American fuel it can lose that film, grind itself to pieces, and send metal shavings through the entire fuel system. You do not replace a pump. You replace the injectors, the rails, the lines, the tank, all of it. The federal recall covers almost 300,000 trucks. That is a lot of work trucks running around with a grenade for a fuel pump. One documented dealer quote to fix it came to $12,600. 12 grand, because one pump the size of your fist decided to eat itself. Number 4. The Tesla Cybertruck, 2024 and 2025. Say what you want about the looks, the thing is fast, and it is loaded with technology. But the stainless steel trim panel that runs along the roof is glued on, and the glue lets go, so the panel peels right off the truck at highway speed. Tesla recalled every single one they had built to deal with it. That is, every truck they ever made pulled back to the shop. And now insurance companies are starting to drop it because the body panels cannot be repaired, only replaced, and those bills are enormous. A brand new $60,000 truck that sheds its own body on the freeway and that your insurance company does not even want to touch. Number 3. The Ford Super Duty with the 6.0 Power-Stroke diesel, 2003 through 2007. This one has a reputation among mechanics, and it is not a good one. It starts with the oil cooler plugging up. That cooks the exhaust gas cooler until it fails, and that takes out the head gaskets next. One little clogged cooler knocks down 3 systems in a row, and to fix it right, they pull the whole cab off the truck. Now here is the part that should make you mad. A court found that Ford knew this engine was defective and sold it anyway, with their own internal emails showing warranty repairs were costing them $5 million a month. That is the kind of bleeding that pays for a fix, and they sold it to you regardless. If you want the good Ford diesel, you want the older 7.3, not this one. Number 2, and this is the one that hurts because it is a Toyota. The Tundra, 2022 through 2024, with the new 3.4 twin-turbo V6. Toyota built its whole name on engines that never quit. This one quits. The factory left machining debris down inside the engine when they built it, and that grit works its way into the main bearing that holds the crankshaft, chews it up, and the engine knocks, runs rough, and stalls out on you in traffic. Toyota has recalled more than 270,000 of them across 3 separate recalls. That is a staggering number for the brand that built its name on never breaking. They have already pulled and scrapped more than 70,000 engines. Picture that many brand new motors headed straight for the scrap heap, and listen to how the fix got worse. It started as a full engine replacement. Now they just inspect it and only swap the engine if their software says so, because even Toyota admitted their cleaner factory process still did not get all the metal out. When the unbreakable brand builds an engine full of its own shavings, you check everything twice. Number 1. The Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500 with the 6.2 V8, 2021 through 2024. And I am putting my own company's truck at the very top of this list because it earned the spot. Down in the bottom of the engine, the connecting rod bearings fail. One lets go, and it can seize the whole engine solid or punch a rod right through the block. This is the truck from the very start of the video. Not a rusty old thing, a pickup people bought new 3 years ago, dying at 70 miles an hour with the family in it. GM recalled it. Nearly 600,000 trucks. That is the biggest recall on this entire list by a mile. Free repair, up to a whole new engine, and that should have been the end of it, except it was not. Because after the recall, trucks that got the fix started failing all over again. More than 30 engines let go after they had already been repaired, and some of those had the brand new replacement engine GM put in. So now the federal government has opened an investigation into whether the recall fix even works. Sit with that for a second. The biggest engine recall on the list, on trucks people are driving today, and the repair itself is under investigation because it is failing too. I spent 34 years building trucks for that company, and I will still tell you the truth about it. Right now, they cannot fix it. If you are looking at one of these, you get proof the work was done, and then you still cross your fingers. That is the worst truck on the road right now, and it is not even close. So there they are, the 17 worst trucks on the road right now, from a battery you have to underfeed to an engine the government cannot get fixed, and notice the thread running through nearly all of them. It is almost never the old simple stuff that lets go. It is the new systems, the cylinder shutoff, the glued-on panels, the fuel-saving gadgets, the pumps, and computers bolted onto good motors just to squeeze out 1 more mile per gallon. the truck got more complicated, and complicated is exactly what breaks. Now, plenty of these trucks are running just fine today, and I am not telling you everyone is going to leave you stranded. What I am telling you is that when you walk onto that lot, you are not buying the paint and the big screen. You are buying what is bolted down underneath, and now you know what to look for and what to walk away from. So let me ask you, which truck on this list have you owned, and did it go the distance or leave you sitting on the shoulder? Tell me down in the comments. And if you want the whole playbook on picking a truck, keeping it running, and knowing when to walk away, I put together a book called The Right Ride. It covers the buying traps, the maintenance shortcuts, and the exact models to look at and to skip. No hard sell. There is a link down in the description if you want it. Either way, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.